What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in to another Sydney Food Boy video. My name's Kevin La, and if you're new to this channel, what I pretty much do is travel around Sydney and try to find some really good, authentic food. I just wanted to start off by saying thank you so much for all the positive feedback and the support I've gotten on the first video. Shout out to all of you guys on Instagram who shared my video, shared my channel, sent me some words of support. It really means a lot, so thank you so much. So I wanted to tell you guys a bit more about myself. I'm a first-gen Australian, so I was born and raised in Sydney. My mum and dad, they're both Chinese by background, by heritage, but they were born in Cambodia, and my dad lived in Vietnam for a little bit as well. So that's where I get a little bit of an identity crisis. I'm not sure really what to call myself, you know, Chinese, Vietnamese, Cambodian. But what that means is I've been exposed to all of these different cultures and traditions while growing up, and I think that's really cool. A couple of years back, I traveled to Cambodia with my family to sort of see how they grew up and see how my parents grew up, see how they lived, and visit their old houses, their old homes and relatives back there as well. And one of the things that we ate a lot in Cambodia, in Phnom Penh in particular, were noodles. Every morning we would get up and we would head to the nearest little restaurant. And these restaurants would sell dry noodles, wet noodles. Over here in Sydney, you can actually get them. They're called Phnom Penh noodles. So today, I'm gonna take you guys to come eat Phnom Penh or Khmer noodles. Let's go. Cabramatta's John Street is full of little alleyways and laneways that hide some really amazing Asian food. Today we're heading down Belvedere Arcade to visit a Cambodian restaurant called Battambang. You can find them at 14 to 16 70 John Street. So I just wanted to introduce you guys to Auntie here. And she's one of the owners of the business, so it's a family business. Her auntie actually owns the business. What's the one over the other side?
It's a family business as well.
Yeah.
Together.
So
yes.
That one's the brother, yeah?
Yeah, the brother.
The brother.
Battambang 1.
And then
this one Battambang 2.
Yeah.
The sister.
The sister.
Yeah, she's here now.
Oh. She's auntie. She's been the owner for a very long time. She's owned it for many years. The restaurant used to be in an alleyway, another alleyway down John Street, and now she moved here. So say hello.
Hello. Hi, my name is Kim. I am the manager in Battambang Restaurant. This is my family business, and we opened since 1991. It's nearly 30 years. Yeah, and the first restaurant is opposite the St. George Bank. In that arcade before, it used to be there nearly 20 years, and we moved out in the new location for more than 5 years now. My uncle father-in-law opened it first time, and then after he retired, he passed it back to my uncle in the other side, and then that's why we carry this name until now. And this name because my uncle father-in-law used to live in Battambang. That's why he put the name Battambang Restaurant. The most favorite dish that the people like it is the crispy pork intestine and the crispy Battambang chicken. That one only here we sell it. We make our own sauce. That's why we call it Battambang crispy chicken. And we sell the Phnom Penh chop. It's like a Cambodian traditional dish that only here we sell it. And the other one, we make a lot of food. It's like the stir-fry rice stock and stir-fry noodle and the dry noodle. That's a lot of people, they love it. I hopefully to see you guys to visit our restaurant.
Go to Mita, and can I get a big bowl?
Yeah.
Do you do a big bowl?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. So we have our noodles, Phnom Penh noodles, and I ordered a combination of rice noodles and egg noodles together. I find that it tastes really nice when you eat it both together because you get a bit of both worlds. You can order this dish wet with soup, but I like to order it dry because you get the soup on the side, and the soup is one of the most tastiest soups that you could probably find in Cabramatta, if not Sydney. The soup's just been sitting there simmering away, getting all these pork bones and gelatin into the soup, and it just tastes really, really, really good. Sometimes I don't even crave the noodles, I crave the soup. That's how good that soup is. And then we get cooked bean sprouts to add on to the noodles as well. And this is what the noodles looks like here. Essentially you have a bed of egg noodles and rice noodles, and then it's topped with different cuts and slices of pork and seafood. So a lot of it's pork mince, slices of pork meat, pork blood jelly, pig offal. And you can also get fish balls, so slices of fish balls on it, and prawns as well. So I see some slices of pork liver, a little bit of pork stomach, pork intestine as well. Oh, it smells awesome. On top of all of that, you have the sauce mixture. So the sauce mixture includes, I think it's a mixture of oyster sauce and soy sauce, and they use fried garlic oil, and they pour that all over. What you want to do is mix it all up, so really get that sauce mixed into all of the noodles. Oh, you should smell this right now. It smells so good. You can smell the flavors, you can smell the garlic, the oyster sauce, the soy sauce. I already know what this tastes like, so I'm literally salivating right now. So we have our rice noodle here. And we also have our egg noodles. Just look at that. You've got to add a little drizzle of lemon on top as well. I reckon it really gives it a good flavor. Man, just look at this. Awesome. And the noodles, like, with all the sauces together, it almost captures like a bit of a butteriness to the noodles, and you know, as you're eating it, every single bite's just flavor. And this is the great thing. So, you know, you have a mix of the egg noodles, you have a mix of the rice noodles, and you can just pick up whatever you like, really. Some more bean sprouts. Here's a question for you guys. Are you guys a fan of offal? Eating sort of pork insides, intestines, stomach, liver, that sort of thing? Have you tried offal? And if you haven't tried offal, would you try offal? Let me know. Comment down below. The other debate I have for you guys is bean sprouts. I've had a couple of friends tell me they hate bean sprouts, even though it's used so commonly in Asian cuisines and Asian cooking, especially to eat with noodles. Do you guys like bean sprouts? I personally love the both. I love eating anything with offal in it, and I always add bean sprouts. It adds texture to it. It adds a bit of crunch. Every single bite of this brings me back to my childhood. Just being of Cambodian heritage or Cambodian Chinese heritage, every single time my parents wanted to eat out in Cabramatta when I was a child, a lot of the time he wasn't eating pho, he wasn't eating bun bo hue, he was eating Cambodian noodles. So we would come to one of these restaurants, you know, whether it be Battambang or a host of other Cambodian restaurants around Cabramatta, and we pretty much order this and we just eat this. I actually love dipping the slices of pork or the offal into hoisin sauce. I think it really gives it a good flavour. It's good, man. I ordered a large bowl and I reckon it's big enough to share between two actually, so I should try the soup for you guys. Just look at these pieces of pork bone that have been sitting there in the broth. They've been simmered inside the broth. This meat here is actually really nice and really tender, so I always eat it at the end. Oh, that soup is so nice and warming. Normally what I'll do is I'll finish off the soup, and then there's a little bit of pork meat on the pork bone. I think the pork meat tastes really good. Like, it's soft, it's tender, it has a lot of flavour to it. This noodle dish is so underrated. There's a lot of people that don't know about eating Phnom Penh or Cambodian noodles. Like, When you think really great noodle dishes from Asia, you think about Chinese noodles, hand-pulled noodles, you think about Vietnamese noodles. I think it's because the Cambodian community in Sydney isn't as well known. When a lot of people think about Cabramatta, they think about the Vietnamese community, but the Cambodian or Khmer community tends to be forgotten a fair bit. And you know, I'm hoping to provide more insight into the Khmer culture that's littered into these restaurants or these different shops. I feel like the sad thing about eating these noodles is I'm always so concentrated on the noodles. So, you know, I'm eating the noodles, I'm eating them, and it's already so flavorful, so saucy. And a lot of the time, all of the toppings that came with the noodles, I'd leave it to the bottom by accident because I'm so concentrated on the noodles. I'm nearly done with the noodles, but I still have nearly everything else. All the meat, the fish ball, the prawn, the liver. I just got an awesome mouthful of offal. So good. I feel like offal just has its own distinctive taste to it. You know, some people like it, some people don't, but really, you know, there's so much good flavour that comes from the offal. When I was younger, I used to always leave the fish ball for the last bite. For some reason, it was always the golden child for me, and it was always the prize, the reward at the end of the bowl. But nah, gotta eat it. You know what? Oh, it's good. I'm pretty sad. It's almost coming to an end. You gotta have a clean bowl. You can't leave any of this behind. That's clean, man. I just want to say thank you so much for watching today. Hopefully I made you hungry. Hopefully I gave you some ideas of where to eat, and you know, you come in and try this place. If you do try this place, let me know. Comment down below.